Hello, hello. Excuse me if I sound a bit croaky. As one would expect, I have managed to catch my son's cold, and it has taken its habitation in my throat. But hello, before anyone says anything, yes, I have been home and I have changed clothes and stuff, but this is a very warm hoodie and I wanted to wear it again. So I'm going to wear it again because we're back in the studio. I have got my hot drink with me. It's just hot squash because in my house we drink Vimto, and there is nothing better than Vimto that's hot when you're not feeling great. Although I do know that they do a Robinson's, which I know isn't Vimto, but they do a festive Robinson's. I'm very tempted by just to add a little sprinkle of festiveness because I've had it before, and if it's anything like it was in previous years, bearing in mind that those years were probably pre-sugar tax, and if you're watching from a different country and you don't know what sugar tax is, go and look that up. Prepare for that rabbit hole. So yes, so basically, I recently was going through some of my lower shelves and things, and I found that I still had one of these. I don't actually sell these anymore because getting hold, as they were the nicest things I think I had in my shop at one point, but getting hold of the blanks was just an absolute nightmare. So yeah, so I appropriated it basically, and now it's mine. And my son has one too, but he picked that ages ago. It does bump on my nose though, because it's loose and it doesn't stay open, which is a bit sad. I probably could get it to stay open. No, it's not going to stay open. But yeah, I'm hoping to keep my hydration levels up, because that's usually why you have a sore throat. It's because you're using up more liquids in your body than you would normally be using. So anyway, so yes, it has been a bit of time. I have spent this morning basically doing admin work, which has not been terribly fun, but it has been a bit of time. I have got a meeting online in about an hour's time. I really should put makeup on for that, but to be brutally honest, my face hurts too much to be able to do that, so we're just going to go with what we've got. It's a very grey day. It looks a lot brighter on the camera than it does in the studio today. It's very grey, and but it's not as cold, quite, although I did turn the heating on this morning. It's not as cold, and it's not raining for the first time in I think 4 days. So there's no rain, it's not as cold, it's just, yeah, it's just grey and miserable. So yeah, yeah, basically. I took the post, the orders down to the depot today. So they've all gone. We are now almost back up to date. I have another one to do, but we are almost running alongside all of the orders. This is the first. I think I've said this before. This is the first year I've actually managed to do that, and it's an amazing feeling. So yeah. So I've got that to do. So I've got another one to do, which is fantastic. We surpassed the goal that I said yesterday, so I don't need to worry too much about that. Well, I do, but like I don't have to worry about the fact that it's not being funded, because it has been funded. We're just now going for the extra cool stuff, and I really, 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 really want the extra cool stuff, as I've said before. So yeah, I am currently taking a quick break because I'm catching up on some vlogmases by other creators, because whatever this thing is that my son had really kind of like affects your throat and your head. It's not so much anywhere else. it just kind of deals with like from here to here. My head feels like it's too small for my brain, which is another indicator of dehydration. And my throat feels like I might have swallowed a very small cheese grater whilst I was asleep. So yeah, it's quite hard to swallow things. It's not impossible, it's just hard. And all of me realistically just wants to go back to bed and sleep. But we cannot do that. The show must go on. So yeah. But yeah, I'm currently on a little break. I haven't got a huge amount to do today, and there is a possibility that I might run today, which is day 10. Hello, Vlogmas day 10, and tomorrow, which is day 11, together. I believe that I did this last year. Day 10 and 11 were run together because there wasn't a lot needed doing, and that might be what happens today. Hopefully, my son will be at basketball tonight. I haven't received any emails to tell me otherwise, so hopefully he'll be at basketball tonight. And yeah, one of the things that I do want to do today is I want to create an intro, because last year I failed miserably because I only did like 3 videos before I kind of ran out of steam. But last year I tried to start my YouTube channel properly. I did the same thing. I did Vlogmas, thoroughly enjoyed Vlogmas. We got to day 10, which is about now. I'm kind of used to talking to the camera now. And takes about a week and a half to kind of get used to it again. And I was like, this would be amazing. I'd be more than happy to do a studio vlog on YouTube. And I did 2, 3, and I think a short as well. The short did really well. And I got to like February. I started it in January, and I got to like February, and I just stopped because life happened. And I don't think I'd planned my time terribly well. I think I had this weird idea that I could just do like a weekly vlog because I've been doing dailies. So clearly I'd be able to do that. And the answer was no. So I think I'm going to do it again. So I need to create a new intro for it, because since the website's going to get its soup up, yes, win, I feel like the studio vlogs need to kind of represent that. Now there's a certain limitation that I have, because I don't have a specialist vlogging camera. For those who wondered, I use my phone. And I have used my phone for the last few years. But I use my phone. And so I don't have a vlogging camera. But I do have software that allows me, like, I could talk to my computer rather than the camera here if I wanted to. So I need to create a new intro. And I want it to look like kind of like the flipping of book pages. I think. I'm going to play around with some ideas. I've got some ideas inside my head, but I'm going to play around with some ideas. And who knows, maybe I'll preview some of them on here for you. So yeah. But yeah, other than that, I don't think, and a meeting in about an hour's time, I don't think I've really got anything that I particularly need to do. If you're wondering about my meetings and stuff, basically my meetings are with the council. So I am effectively self-employed, but I don't earn quite enough with all the expenses and things. I don't earn quite enough to be above the threshold for what would be considered kind of a good pay, if that makes sense. So consequently, I basically have meetings with the council to, you know, go over things that they potentially might be able to offer me to help boost my income. So, and some of it's useful and some of it really isn't. But there's no harm in trying. So yeah, that's what my meetings are. I have them fairly regularly, and they're usually fairly pleasant affairs. and they don't usually last longer than about 20 minutes or so. Plus, it gives me the motivation. It gives me accountability, which is also nice. Not that I'm not accountable myself, but it's nice to have another person who at least feels like they're invested in me. They're probably not. They're probably just paid to do that. But it feels like they're invested in me. So, which is also nice. So, yes. Anyway, so that is one of the things I want. Those are the two things that I need to do today. And one thing that I want to do today. And I've got a feeling it's going to be a very computer heavy day. With the possibility with putting together another order. And I've deliberately kind of not really been showing too much of orders because, like I said last time, I don't know if they're Christmas presents or not, and I don't want to ruin that for someone. So, especially because this time of year, I notice a certain uptick in the numbers of other halves that are buying items. My customer base is about 84% female, except at Christmas, when suddenly it kind of becomes about 70% female, which may not sound like much, but an extra 50% being men is quite a lot. And I have a hunch that some of these, especially when they have the same last name, are the other halves or significant others or family members of some of the women who frequent my shop. And I don't want to ruin any surprises and things. So, I appreciate that this doesn't become public until Christmas Eve. As in public. Obviously, Ko-fi members are watching it, and for £3 for this month, you can binge everything up to today and then watch it as it comes out, and it'll only cost you £3 because these videos are these vlogs are available for anyone who is on a membership plan on my Ko-fi, and anyone who does a one-time donation of £3 or more. And those £3 really do go towards videoing, editing, having the editing software, all of that kind of stuff. So, yeah. And I usually make the first one publicly available on my Ko-fi, and I usually make one publicly available kind of somewhere around the middle. Could be this one. It's usually, somewhere between the 10th to the 12th. There'll be one that's kind of publicly available as well. So yeah. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do. And like I said, there's a strong possibility I may merge days 10, 11 together. Because what with this, and the fact that it's going to be very kind of editing heavy, I'm not entirely sure that I have enough content to really be in one vlog. But besides me waffling at the moment. So, but we'll see. I will obviously video as the day goes on, and we'll see if we've got enough by the end of it. But right now, I'm going to go sort myself out a snack, and maybe go and use the kettle and make something that's warm, because my throat will prefer that, and have my meeting. And I will see you when I see you at some point after that. Hello again! It is, again, a bit of a leap later. I feel like I never leave this chair with you guys. So, at least not when I'm here. I have put it all the way over there, haven't I? So, 1 minute. I have packaged my latest order, and more precisely, come on, chair, roll. Thank you. I really should get a new one. It makes really bad clicking sounds that I'm fairly confident it's not supposed to make. So yeah. But I have also made, and I'm sort of okay with it, a little intro for what I hope will be my new vlog. My new studio vlog. Going into 2025. Now, when it will launch in 2025, I would like to say in January. I'm not going to make myself say January because I know what I'm like. I know that I'm not always able to commit to kind of like deadlines that are that short, and obviously there's a lot of editing and videoing that goes on with that as well. Excuse me that I sound a bit out of breath. I'm a little bit excited. I'm currently on LinkedIn, and I just made a very exciting connection with somebody. So yes, I'm not going to say who, but a prominent game with a prominent games developer. Let's put it that way. That's what they work on. A prominent game with a prominent games developer. So I'm quite excited about that because it was unexpected. But yes, so consequently, yes, as I was saying, I've more or less sorted something like kind of like it's a work in progress for my intro. I wonder if it's a little bit too long, but yeah, it'll be a work in progress for my intro. And the reason I'm kind of sitting all the way out here is because what I'm hoping will happen is that I'll be able to do that, and it's going to run. So you can kind of get an idea. But yeah, I'm kind of liking it. Anyway, that's what I've been working on for the past hour and a bit. Probably an hour. So yeah, and I'm sort of liking it. I kind of like how it is, what it looks like. Feels on par with what I want. And I'm thinking that my studio vlog in the new year is I'm not going to try and do what I was doing before. So I'm not going to try and do like a consistent like, oh, a day like this and a day like that. Because the truth is, it'll be starting at one of the slower points of the year. Not the slowest, but one of the slowest points in the year. Because, you know, the new year, you know, the middle of January is you know, it's a pretty depressing time because it's a really long wait till the summer holidays. And the weather gets nicer. But it'll be something to look forward to. And, yeah. So there won't be an awful lot of day-to-day stuff to film. And it'll be more or less a bit like this, where I'm like sitting in a chair just talking to a camera. Which, I mean, is fine for me, but probably not terribly interesting for you. So I think I'm probably going to do particular things. So it'll be a particular topic. You'll be able to tell from it. So like, you know, everything from like how I format a children's book to obviously prep work for Wonderkin to that kind of stuff. That's what I'm thinking. Like I said, all of this is very much a work in progress. I'm just at that point now where I'm kind of enjoying talking to the camera, and it doesn't feel as strange and as weird anymore. And I think that I could maybe do a bit more of this. Maybe. So, I mean, you can always let me know if that's something that you would like to see. It would be a little bit more polished than this. This is very off the cuff because it's every single day through Vlogmas. So it's very kind of like sudden, and I don't have a lot of time to polish because I've got to film it, edit it, get it out. Film it, edit it, get it out. So there's no time for polish. There's no time for snazzy stuff. There's no time for any of that kind of thing. It's just got to be there. And I think that's sort of the joy of Vlogmas videos, is the fact that it's very on the cuff. It's very raw. It is just how it is. I think that's maybe the allure of Vlogmas, is the fact that that's just how it is. There's no frills or funny bits. Or if there is, it's because there's someone else working behind the scenes. And I don't have someone else working behind the scenes. There is just me. So that's what I'm thinking. Very, very interested. Like I said, I quite like this. And I quite like the little intro. I wanted it to feel like a flip book. So, yeah. I'm going to tweak with it. I'm going to play with it. I'm going to make everything kind of work how I want it to, but I want it to have that kind of that full-on fantasy vibe, because I'm really kind of like pushing in on that now, especially with the new website, which might well be one of the vlogs. Hello, dog. Might be one of the might be one of the vlogs I end up doing. A whole thing on like making the website and fulfilling that goal will be something quite spectacular, and very interesting, and that's what I'm thinking. So, fun times. Anyway, yeah, tell me what you think. I don't often ask you to post any comments down below, but I think that this might be one of those times where you comment down below. You can have a sneaky peek of it. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? Even though you've seen it up here, before I log off on this vlog, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it for you, full screen, and you can see what you think. I mean, the bear in mind, music may change, all of that may change, but yeah, that might be something that I do. Bear in mind that it is obviously an intro, so it's only, what? 10 seconds, just under 10 seconds long. So it's only an intro. And I'm not planning on doing like a big run up for it, I think. Because I've only really got used to talking to a camera, so that would feel weird. But I'll let people know that I'm doing it though, so yeah. Anyway, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to end the vlog. So, I'm sorry, this is really short and I've just been sat here waffling at you again, and I'm very sorry about that. But sometimes you just got to do, and today that is what I was doing. I have one of those to do, which means I'm now up to date again unless one of you people end up placing an order, and then I will be back here doing that. But sometimes that's just what you got to do. And I don't really have a lot else that I definitely need to do this month. Basically, I just need to do my accounting, and that's about it. Because I do my accounting every month. And that I'm not going to show you for obvious reasons, nor would you find it terribly interesting. So yeah, so on that note, I will love you and leave you. I will see you tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 11. And I will put on that potential intro. We'll call it a potential intro. And you can tell what you think. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.